As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. As an American, I've been to the peaks of majestic mountains where the air is sweet. I've watched the eagle
Everyone, welcome to Real News Live. How you guys doing on this wonderful Friday evening? Hi, Debbie Martin. Hi, Debbie Rogers. Hi, Alex. Hi, Karen. Hi, Matt. Hi, Richard. Hi, Linda. How you guys doing tonight? Of course, hi, Catherine. Hi, everyone else that is coming in. How you guys doing tonight? A lot to talk about, of course. Not really a lot, but a lot is going on in the world. Can't believe the IRS is turning to use AI to crack down on, of course, tax violators. Yeah, that's right. Artificial intelligence now being used by your government to go after you for not paying taxes. Of course, they're saying that they're only going to use it on wealthy potential tax violators, but guaranteed they will use it on every American citizen, going after taxes in every single way they can as tax collectors. Artificial intelligence should not be used against any American citizen by our government, which it is being used, and of course now they're openly using it, and to investigate more than 75% of tax partnerships. Whether they say they're going to use it on only rich people or not, of course they say only 1,600 taxpayers fall under the category who owe hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. We know that's bullshit. You don't hire 84 or 87,000 tax associates and then use AI to, of course, go after tax evasion and then only go after 1,600 people. Come on, the math doesn't add up. 87,000 for 1,600 people and then having to use AI on top of it. So basically the government's now using any way to monopolize itself or orientate itself for war against U.S. citizens. Go after every aspect of their lives that they can. It's not good enough that they get taxes when we make our money. They get taxes when we spend our money. And they get taxes when we buy our homes. And then we got to pay taxes yearly on the land that we own. We own, supposedly, but yet we pay taxes on it every year. It's ridiculous, like a car. You have to go and register it every year. Pay for registration, which is taxes on a vehicle you've already paid taxes on. That you pay taxes when you made the money that you bought the vehicle with. and then you go and buy milk, food, and bread or other goods, and you're paying taxes on that as well. I mean, we're in a state of a government cannot keep running like this. Our government is totally corrupt from top to bottom, as we already know. One thing after another is showing that to be obvious. Now our prosecutors with federal government are now looking to prosecute parents as children die from fentanyl. Yeah, prosecutors are looking to charge parents with their murder. That is right. One of the mothers climbed into bed just before dawn with her toddler, who was asleep next to her, with a nightstand strewn with straws, burned tinfoil, and wet paper. Hours later, the mother woke to find her daughter struggling to breathe because of fentanyl. But this isn't the only case. They're looking at charging parents that their children are using drugs illegally, that they don't even know they're trying to. You will own nothing and be happy is exactly what the government's trying to do. Take away every right, every single anything. Some 20 states are so-called drug-induced homicide laws, which allow prosecutors to press murder or manslaughter charges to anyone that supplies, exposes a person to drugs and causes fatal overdoses. Now these laws, which were intended to target drug dealers, are being used against parents that don't even know their children are using drugs. Because if a teen turns up drunk driving laws, the parents are charged. So why shouldn't the parents be charged if the teen shows up with a fatal fentanyl overdose? That's what the government's opinion is. That's what the government's opinion is on this now. There's a unique approach, which will be tested in court soon, will set a precedence for every parent in America that if their child does something illegal without their knowledge and ends up dying for it, you can be charged with homicide. It's bad enough you had to lose your child to drugs that shouldn't have came across the southern border in the first place. Let's be honest. Our southern border was controlled the way it should be. If we had the proper restrictions of access, we know that 3 times the amount of fentanyl is coming in through the southern border than ever before right now. But yet we're going to go after parents now. Parents for this fentanyl epidemic. We're not going to go after the drug dealers. We're not going to go after the people bringing it across the southern border. We're not going to increase border patrol because we don't want to hurt illegal immigrants from coming into our country. But yet we're going to go after parents that are trying to raise their children the right way when drugs are prevalent everywhere in this country right now. This is utterly ridiculous reading this tonight. This is the reason I had to bring this up. I could see, like a child out driving and drunk, the parents do get charged because the consequence of exposing their children, to these actions. Yeah, this is another way to take children away. I'm talking when your child dies. When a child is killed because poor decisions made on their behalf because of addictions. Or a child becomes using pot and ends up smoking something with fentanyl in it. I mean, the little is 2 milligrams is fentanyl. That's the weight of about a mosquito. It's fatal. The weight of a mosquito of fentanyl. That means they're smoking some pot with their friends and it's laced. Next thing they know, they all overdose. And guess what? All these parents are being charged with felony murder charges because a drug law that was put in place to go after the criminals, the drug dealers themselves. We're not going to use it that way. We're going to use it to attack the American citizens. Just like they're attacking Donald Trump on every single aspect. Donald Trump's now 2024 campaign is going to have much fewer rallies and much more court dates. He's held over a dozen campaign events so far this year, but those events, of course, are going to be trickling down because more than 91 felony counts across 4 criminal cases that are all being forced to be had and be heard before the end of this year, to start at least their case before the end of this year, is ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. This is a political prosecution. They're going after parents now. They're going after political rivals. They're going They're making illegals, giving illegals $2,200 a month plus housing, food, medical, and $2,200 a month on top of that. But yet, a U.S. citizen that has lost everything due to a natural disaster gets $720. We're sending $100 billion to Ukraine. The 12,000 people on that part of the island that, of course, lost everything. That would be around $87,000 per person. That $1 billion we're sending to Ukraine. Now, another $1 billion. Not talking about the $108 billion that we've already sent. Well, that'd be ridiculous. That'd be like sending each one of them $190-something thousand. Oh, wait. That's still not enough. It is ridiculous what our government has come to. And it's ridiculous even where our government's pushing our military at. Biden's new electric army tanks. That's his plan, to electrify the military. And all electric military tanks. How is that going to work? Electric cars get 300 miles per charge. What's an electric tank going to get? 25 miles? And then where are you going to charge it? You're in the middle of nowhere. This is utterly disastrous what is happening. This administration doesn't care about our country, doesn't care about the strength of our military. They want to make it all a joke. Hybrid tanks aren't even feasible at this point. Even a hybrid tank. He wants fully electric tanks. That's what he wants. But even hybrid tanks are not feasible at this rate. They're not. I mean, no matter who wants to say that this is a good thing, this is a true overreaching goal. A goal that we do not have the capability and the necessity to even invent or try to invent the operations to this work. This is a joke. Biden needs to be removed. 90% of Congress needs to be removed, same as Senate or the House. Let's be honest. The Senate and the House are full of corruption. We have career politicians that are lining their pockets instead of caring what American citizens actually go through on a day-to-day basis. Watching the United States citizens suffer. Fuel prices going back up to $5 a gallon expected. Some places are already over $4.50. So when somebody wants to tell me they're not going back to $5, like the government's trying to say, they are. Watching gas prices uptake at a rapid pace in a short amount of time, anybody with half common sense can tell that this is going to be a true problem. Now they want of course, Army Secretary plans to field all electric light duty non-tactical fleet by 2027. Yeah, good choice. An all electric non-tactical fleet by 2025. 35? Who knows? That might be doable. But they're not going to have the combat capabilities as we have today. You can't go and charge a vehicle in the middle of a war zone. I don't care what kind of range it has. Range runs out. This is truly abysmal. Defense Department, of course, and the woke left policies are causing huge problems. The division of the military, lack of people to actually serve in the military now at this rate. Nobody wants to go in to the military, and the people that do go in don't want to be yelled at. They don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to go through basic training as we know it. They want to go through basic training as they want it to be. This woke mentality is ruining our country. Our political career politicians are beyond idiocracy. I don't even know how to state it. This is a true problem. Watching what's unfolding. Yeah, bungee cords and solar panels on top of those tanks. Yeah, you know how many a lot of people think this is funny, but you know how many solar panels it would take to power a tank? You're talking, 74 tons? That's in a non-new armament equipped M1 Abrams tank. So that kind of power needed. A full-size Tesla vehicle usually has 100 kilowatt hours. That's like 10 minutes of running that tank. And that's not at speed. I mean, even the tank on standby, just sitting there, moving its turret around, will generate that much power in an hour. You're talking 2,000 horsepower turbine engines are running in those tanks now. And that's barely enough to keep them moving at 35, 40 miles an hour. A couple days of charging, plugged in. It is truly a joke at this point. Everything unfolding, IRS using AI against us. It's not just going to be the IRS. IRS is just the beginning. The prosecution, of course, of our political rivals is just ridiculous. Biden should be impeached already. We know the evidence that they have against him now is substantial enough to impeach him. And then we have courts like Georgia with their special grand jury indictment. One indictment, Lindsey Graham amongst those who were charged in Georgia's grand jury indictment. For what? For the election probe? Yeah, oh wait, they questioned the 2020 election. So they probed the election in Georgia. So that's illegal now. So when it becomes illegal to question the legitimacy of something, an action that happens within a country, you are no longer in a democracy. If you cannot question what the government has said happened, you are no longer free at all. Freedoms don't exist at that point. And that's what we're watching here. Even the judge, or even, of course, the White House chief of staff that asked this case be moved to federal court, because of course federal court would dismiss this case immediately because it has no standing at all. As a president and the presidential advisors, they're allowed to do a lot more than just a normal citizen. But none of their stuff that they've done, even for this Georgia case for sure, was a violation of any law. They're testing new legal theories to try to make it a violation at this point. And it is a joke. We're watching this all unfold as Russia, of course, supposedly losing everywhere they're fighting, right? Well, we know they're not because we've watched what's happening in Syria. They're doing flybys of U.S. jets, and U.S. jets can't even touch them. So, obviously, they're doing pretty good. Russia missiles, of course, killed at least one policeman. We don't know how many more. At least 73 other people wounded. And Zelensky's hometown in central Ukraine. Russian missile attacks, of course, that happened this morning on Ukrainian's president's hometown, killed at least one police officer and wounded at least 73 other people, including 9 other policemen. I thought they were intercepting all these missiles. Remember? They can intercept the hypersonic missiles. These are just dummy missiles being fired. These weren't even hypersonic at this point, but yet they're intercepting the hypersonic missiles too. It's amazing. It is amazing to say that Russia's losing this war and that Russia has no backing, no strength. I mean, Russia's holding another election in the occupied Ukrainian region in an effort to tighten its grip there. Russia has the nerve enough to allow another free and open election on the illegally annexed part of properties that were annexed over a year ago. Are going to allow an election? That's pretty crazy. They're supposed to conclude Sunday. We'll find out who's going to be announced the leader of that area. But I mean, this is crazy. Obviously, Russia has the power. Russia, not only that, fires a fury of missiles in the market, into a market, and now it's blackened and strewn with bodies. Disasters. That was Wednesday. Of course, we're just now hearing about it. Has lots of citizens and loved ones and military members. Bodies are scattered across the ground. At least 17 people were killed and 32 injured. This was just Wednesday. We didn't even hear about it till today. This is the problem. The facts don't want to come out because if people understand what is happening and the amount of money we're dumping into a war that is killing citizens of another country, let's be honest, we're dumping money in there till every Ukrainian is gone because that's our plan. The $1 billion aid package we're sending now, it's just another drop in the bucket. We're just going to keep sending drops in the bucket while American citizens can't even afford to pay their own bills. Watching one missile attack after another, burning much of Ukraine. But supposedly, Ukraine's not able to launch any missiles or Russia's not able to launch any missiles into Ukraine because Ukraine is taking them all down. It is a true joke at this point. Watching the devastation that's happening, not just there, but abroad and in our own country because of poor leadership and now equal protections for citizens of those countries. We're a citizen of the United States. We are citizens. And it's important to remember we are not being taken care of. So why do we think anybody else is being honest about what's happening? Why? Sad to say. Yep. Make people think that they're getting what they want. Make people think that they're getting what they need. Meanwhile, America burns. Truly devastating. And now, Nancy Pelosi should have been retired. She should have just stayed retired. She plans to run for re-election of her House seat next year. Yes, Nancy Pelosi wants to be back in charge of the House, and she's running to be a member of the House. I don't know why. This is truly demoralizing at this point. Knowing the corruption she had amongst herself and her family, even though she didn't buy stock directly, she got information and her husband bought stock that coincided with that information, but yet they did not talk to each other, because that would be illegal, about these trades. But yet he managed to trade exactly what she was having private meetings with corporate executives. I mean, watching this all unfold is ridiculous. The corruption and politics in America. Yeah, another DUI. Drinker of the house again. It's crazy. This is all unfolding. Nobody cares about U.S. citizens. They care about what's best for the elite. And I guarantee this IRS thing with the AI is going to hit every American's pocketbook harder than ever believed before. They're going to ask why you gave $5 to Joe Schmo on the corner when you were driving home from work because he was holding a sign. Mark my words. That's the America we're going into. That's the America you should be prepared for. The America you have no freedoms. You have no privacy. You have no rights. You will own nothing. You will have nothing. You think North Korea is bad? Just wait. But God bless you guys. I will be back live tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Till then, be safe, be strong, stand tall. God bless you. God bless America. Good night.